Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and different ways that you can get creative with your iPad. So, if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, all that jazz so that you never miss a video. Now, that all being said, let's go ahead and jump into the purpose of today's video. Today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys how I am setting up my daily planner for the month of March. I am so excited to finally be doing this. What you're looking at right now is my weekly setup, so if you want to see how I created this design, I will link that video up in the cards here for you to check out at your leisure. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started with our daily planning. So let's start with Friday, Women's Day, and let's just do that. Say, hello, beautiful women out there who are watching this. You are all rock stars, and I love you. And I know that this video is coming out after Women's Day, but we own the month, okay? One day is simply just not enough. But yes, let's jump into the planning. I'm so excited. All right, so the first thing I want to do is start by covering up the areas that I know that I want to customize. And so I'm going to come to my elements, and I'm going to come to it's one of my recent ones that I've used, so I'm just going to grab that. But I keep this background color element saved in a digital planning folder in my elements. And if you're new here and you haven't seen how to do that, basically you just go anywhere in the background and just tap, and then you just take a screenshot and you can export it and you can copy it, paste it, and then you can tap on this and you can add it as an element so that you can keep it for future use. And then you can just add it in like I just did, and you can start to cover up any of the pieces that you want to cover up. So I am just going to add in a few of these. I'm going to cover up my meals because I have a space for my meals in my weekly setup. And I'm also going to cover up the dotted space over here, which you might not really be able to see on camera, but it's there. So I'm just going to make sure that's blank so that it's easier for me to customize things. And then I think the rest I'm going to leave. So I've chosen I'm going to use the color palette for my bonus set for this month, which is actually my favorite of them all. This is actually the color palette that I originally designed the stickers in before voting and everything was done, and I'm absolutely in love with this color palette and just the vibes that it gives off. It's very calming and very grounding to me, and it's just, I think, what I would want to see on a daily basis in my planner. It's not too loud, and I think it would just kind of relax me. I'm somebody with a lot of anxiety, and so this type of color palette just really chills me out. And I really just love the natural tones here. So this is the 4th color palette, and it is available to anyone on Etsy, and I also made it downloadable for the top 2 tiers of my Patreon membership. So those are the ways that you can access this if you would like this particular color palette. I will also leave the colors up here in the corner if you would like to pause and add these in. I already have them saved as pen colors in my Goodnotes, but if you need to take that time, feel free to pause and do that now. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to come to my pen tool and also back to my planner, and I'm going to draw with my ball pen around where it's kind of hard to see on camera, but if I zoom in you can see these lines around here, and it just kind of like designates the space. I'm gonna draw these with the pen tool, but I want to use, let's see, I'll just use this color for now, and I'm gonna change them into the pre-programmed ones later, and I'm just gonna let it hold and create a perfect shape here, and then I'm going to grab my shape tool and tap, and I'm just going to make sure that these cover up those lines perfectly. And you can leave them up here, but I actually want to bring them down, and I'm going to kind of bring them to the middle here, and so that is going to leave this space here that we really just don't care to see. So I'm also going to come in with my pen tool, and I'm just going to adjust this white. I'm going to customize it. I want to make sure it is the FC color, and I am just going to cover up this line here in the background. It's not a totally perfect match, which is kind of upsetting, but that is what the screenshot told me, so that's what I'm going with. I'm going to come back and I'm just going to do the same here. So the process is pretty repetitive. I just draw these shapes in and make sure these lines line up where I want them. And realistically, I think what I would want to do, because I think this will work out better, is I'm going to turn on my stroke eraser and I'm going to erase those lines, those white ones. And I'm actually going to, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I'm going to come back and paste that element again because I am going to cover this up anyway with stickers. So it's okay. You'll see my plan in a minute, but I basically am going to be adding in the new text anyway. So there's not really a point in me having that color not match if that doesn't need to be the case. Okay, this one I'm going to cover up about half of it, which I know is a little bit weird. And then for the daily gratitude, we're just going to cover up the top part of this line here. Okay, so I've kind of just cut everything off a little, but that's okay because what I'm going to be doing is coming back in here with the pen tool. And I'm just using a random yellow at this point. I'm going to change all the colors later once I know what I'm going for. Grabbing my image tool again and then just adjusting this, making sure everything lines up and looks nice. I think that's about where I want that one to be, so it's sort of in the middle of this section here. And we'll draw this rectangle. And let's just tap and make sure these are all in place. They look good. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to add in into this space one of these wavy ones. And I think maybe we'll go with this green. So I'm just going to copy and paste with my image tool here. Come back to my planner and paste this. Use my image tool and resize this to fit in here nicely. And I'm going to pull it a little bit on the width, but I don't want to do too much because I don't want to distort it a ton. Though distorting it a little bit won't make a huge difference on this one. But these margins around the outside will just be slightly unequal, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to be really noticeable. And then all I'm going to do is with my shape tool just come in and bring these edges in just a hair. Just ever so slightly so that it matches up more perfectly here. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is come back to my sticker pack. I am going to grab these 4 paint strokes. It would help if I turned images on. So let's turn images on and grab these 4 paint strokes. I'm going to paste them here. And all of these are going to end up being different sizes, which I'm totally okay with. And I haven't decided if I want these to be the same color as the strokes or if I want them to be different colors. We'll start with the same, and then if I want to change it out, I can. But let's grab the image tool here. And I'm just going to kind of cover up this space here. And I'm flipping this one because it's a little more solid at the bottom. There's more area of the brush stroke that you can see through at the top. And so I just want to kind of hide that text that was sort of showing through on the bottom side. And I'm gonna, I think, put this green one up here for the to-do list here. And let's do this one like this. Just gonna rotate that a little bit. I don't know, do I want it this way? I don't know if I've ever done like a sideways paint stroke. I kind of like that. I think I always just rotate it like 180 degrees instead of just like that. But I actually think that that could work. I just love the look of these paint strokes. And then maybe I'll rotate this one that way. Okay, so I'm going to circle this. I'm going to recolor it. And let's just start with making them match first. I already feel like I'm going to change my mind, but that's okay. We're going to test it out. I'm going to add in, for this one because it's gratitude, I'm going to add in like a lucky me sticker. I think that's a cute idea. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. And then I want to add in a space for me to add a photo. So whether that's a photo of like a memory for the day or a doodle or something, I want to make sure I have room for that. So I'm going to paste this one over here. And now that I know what size I want it, I'm actually going to move it over here for a second. Come back to my sticker pack and find the washi tape that I want to kind of tape it down with. So I think I'm going to use the orange. I'm going to copy and bring this back over here and get it as a size that I want. And then to save myself the trouble, let me just double check and make sure I like that. Yeah, I think that looks good. So once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to add this as an element, and I'm going to put it into my 2024 folder, and this is just going to save me headache later. So basically what I can do now is just add this in as an element. So then I can easily size a photo to fit, grab my elements, close out of it, and then place the element right back on top. And it just really makes that process so much faster and so much easier to actually use these memories so that you're not wasting your time just cutting and pasting and relayering constantly. So that is another one of my favorite ways to use the element tool. I feel like I should just make an entire video of all the ways that I use my element tool to save me time. I think that would be a really good place to direct people. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see a video like that where all of my little element hacks are in one place. Okay, so now is one more way to save time. We did save an element during our weekly setup, which if you watch that video, you'd remember we have one of these, and you can just put this in here, and basically you can use the precision eraser to then erase away and make different letters. But I think what I'm gonna do, just to save me a little bit of time, is I'm going to come back to my weekly setup. And what I'm going to do is, because this is handwriting, I am going to, with handwriting only on, just select the letters for March. And then we're going to come back to the 8th, and we're going to paste these in here. And then we're just going to select these, and I think this size is good. So I just want to make sure that I have room to add in the date. And I actually think that I kind of want them to be smaller, so I am just going to resize this a little bit. But then I'm going to take this element, so I'm going to grab my element tool, and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to match, let's match it with the C, because the C is going to be like the closest to almost like a full cube, and we're just going to make sure that these are the same size. And that's perfect, and I am just going to tap on that one, and I am going to add it as an element at this size now. And before I do that, why don't I change the color just to make it easier. So I'm going to make it pink and add an element, and I'm going to put this in that 2024 folder. So now I know that the one that is that size for when I add in the dates is going to be this pink, purple, magenta colored one, and that will save me time each day when I set up my planner. I'm normally not a fan of doing something like this that I have to change every single day or week, but because of the fact that I did this for the weekly layout and I thought it turned out so cute with this lettering style, I wanted to keep it consistent and keep going, and so I'm gonna do it for my numbers for the month as well. So let's go ahead and turn this into an 8. So I'm just gonna turn on my eraser tool and make sure we are on precision eraser, and I'm gonna zoom in, and we really mostly just need these kind of circles here, and I might zoom out a little bit just to make sure that they're a decent size in comparison to like the circles in the A or the R, and I think that's okay. And then what I'm gonna do is just zoom in and make this little part of the 8, you know, where they meet, and it's not gonna be perfect. I don't have like a grid or a system here to really help me, but I think it'll do the trick. So there's the 8, and now I can just change the colors. So these are the colors from the previous month, so we're just going to select these and change the colors. So let's start with that one, and let's make this one green, and that one the lighter one, the sandier one, the more burnt orange color, and the green. Okay, I think that's looking pretty cute. And now let's just add in some cute elements here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna take my highlighter tool. I'm thinking over the 8th, I'm just gonna make like a little sort of shamrock. And I do wanna make sure it is like the same green that's in the color palette. So I'm just gonna change that green. And we're going to kind of embrace that happy-go-lucky vibe. So I'm just going to grab, I like these stars, turn on images, I always forget to do that, turn on images and copy these. And we're gonna paste, and just so that we have plenty, I'm gonna paste it twice. And I'm just gonna start placing these all over. And if you do need to move any of these around once they're already up here above that element, for example, where we covered up the word March, or if you want to, let's say, like vary some of them in size or rotate them, then you should use the image tool for that. And I wasn't planning on resizing these, but I actually kind of like it. I actually think I want to put this one over here. I think it'll stand out better. And yeah, I'm just moving these around, seeing where they look nice. I want to add like a bigger sticker here, so let's come back and take a look. I think I'm going to use this rainbow with the shamrock in the center. This feels very like Lucky Charms to me. I think that's super cute. Maybe just place a couple more stars around. I actually think they look pretty nice, sort of overlapping these lines as well. So I'm really just having fun at this point with these stickers and seeing what works and, you know, what maybe doesn't work so much, which is really all we're ever doing, right? I want to grab, I think I want to use the dice. I never used the dice. I think those would be cute. So let's copy these and paste them. Maybe the magic wand, I don't know. Oh, I think that looks cute. And yeah, I might, I don't know, sprinkle these ever so lightly around the perimeter of my daily schedule, which doesn't usually get many stickers. So I think that kind of spices up that space a little bit. And then the very last thing to do, which I could have nearly forgotten, is to just add in the text. So let's do that right now. We're going to write top 3 priorities. Actually, I think the size looks pretty decent. So let's see. We're going to turn on just text boxes only, just to make this easier. Top 3 priorities. Okay. To do, let's capitalize that do, and the L in list, to-do list. I'm just going to write future tasks instead of the whole like navigate to the future. So I just want to make sure that this is center aligned then. So I'm selecting it all. I did that by like triple tapping. And I'm just going to bring these blue dots in because the text box doesn't need to be that large. I'm just going to put that there. And the last thing is gratitude. So let's add text and write gratitude. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do is just see how this looks if the text there is in white. So I'm just going to select all of it, and I know that I'm in good shape because I have text boxes only selected in my lasso tool. So I'm just going to color this and change it to white. I think on camera it looks worse. I think in real life it looks better. The only one that it doesn't look great with is this one. Can I get away with just changing one of these to black and keeping the others as white? I actually think that that looks decent. I don't know how it looks to you guys through the lens of the camera, but I actually think it looks fine. So that's how I'm going to keep it. And I think that this turned out really cute as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this setup. I'm actually really happy with my March ones. If you guys have been following along with my ranking videos, which I'll link in the cards, they're kind of silly and they're my first time ever like putting my face on camera for YouTube. And I don't know, it's a fun experience. I'm glad that I did it. It's a little bit awkward for me, to be honest, but it was fun and I enjoyed it. So if you guys are enjoying them, then that makes me even happier. I still have to finish editing my daily one, but my whole point of bringing this up is that I absolutely hated like almost every single one of my March ones last year. Like I really disliked a lot of my March layouts, and I'm actually really happy with how all of these have turned out. It surprised me. I think that they look so much better than last year's set. And yeah, anyway, if you want to see me embarrass myself and also rank my planner with me's for the entire year of 2023, then feel free to check out those videos. But yes, they are a little bit silly. I will admit that. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys are having a blast using these stickers this month. If you do make anything and happen to be on Instagram or on Etsy or wherever and you want to share photos, leave reviews, send messages, whatever, I would love to see anything that you create. It always really warms my heart. So I just want to say thank you for any amount of support that you do offer. You are greatly appreciated, and I am going to leave my video here. But stay tuned because I have some really exciting announcements coming, and I cannot wait to share them with you. Anyway, all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You're all the best. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!